Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your man, Well-Known Tone, checking in with another quick review. Today's segment is going to be extra dope. I have two plugins from an up-and-coming software development company called Dope VST. Just a small collective of beat makers who are geared towards making dope software for the underground hip-hop scene. Their first product they launched was called Beat Maschine. That's loaded with over 500 different drum kits, 2,000 different drum samples. The second product is called Bass Engine, and that covers 3 decades of bass sounds, and is packed with over 300 different bass patches. So I'm going to load these up inside a machine. I'm going to go into more detail about these, so you guys stay tuned. Alright guys, so here I am with Dope VST's Beat Maschine. Like I said, there are over 500 different kits in here. It's available in 32 and 64-bit for the Windows, and it is also available for the Mac. The way the 500 kits are split up, you got 250 stereo patches, then you also have 250 submix patches, which is good for routing. You can take each sound and send them to a channel inside your DAW for full control of your mix. Also, as an added bonus, they threw in a folder of 50 Midi drum loops. Unfortunately, there are no waves included with this plugin, but let's go ahead and check out the interface. Over here you'll have a few parameters. This is your volume knob for your kick, then you also have one for your snare, your hi-hat, and then your miscellaneous percussion for like your open hats or whatever, things like that. Okay, then you have a keyboard, and only the first 4 keys are what you're going to use. So if you're on a MIDI keyboard, you're going to start off at C1. If you're loaded this up in Maschine, make sure you put your pads into keyboard mode and select C1 as your root node. Also, we have a reverb knob. Then over here is the volume knob. Now this volume knob is really special because not only does it control the volume, it also adds some extra drive and punch to your drum sounds. Then of course you'll have your pitch. So you can do a little bit of tuning from here. They've also added an expansion slot for future expansions, so be on the lookout for those. Up here is where you'll find your drum presets. If you simply click on the preset itself, you'll get a full view of all the kits inside of here. Okay, so now let me explain the difference between the stereo patches and the submix patches. So the ones labeled with 1 next to it are your stereo patches, and then the ones with the 4 next to it are your routable patches, so you can send each sound to a separate channel inside of your DAW. And then, like I said, there are 500 different patches in here. A lot of different sounds of drums. Let me go ahead and load up one of their MIDI drum loops, and we'll start demoing off some of these drum sounds. So this is the 6 Feet Under kit. Very classic boom bap feel. And then to the left and right of the preset window, you'll have your previous and next buttons. So you can simply jump over to the next kit. A huge variety of drums in here, a lot of sounds to go through. And now these kits labeled with the S are special kits, influenced by some top producers. Let's like load up the Pete Rack. So this is obviously influenced by Pete Rock. You got one influenced by Q-Tip. So yeah, when they said that they were aiming this towards the underground hip-hop scene, they were not joking. A lot of great dope boom bap drums in here. Real easy to navigate. Like I said, you can pull up this full screen, or you can just simply click to the next one. Now, one of the great things about this VST that I noticed, you know, they did a very good job at combining these drums inside of these kits. You'll notice that the kick goes with the snare, the hats match the rest of the sounds within the kit, and that's very important when you're putting together drum kits, because you don't want mismatched sounds in there. You got a kick that doesn't make sense to the snare, and you know, vice versa. So they did a very good job at paying attention to things like that. So definitely more than enough kits to you know, get you going. It's great. The interface is nice and sleek, very clean, easy to use, very easy to navigate through the sounds in here. So let's go ahead and load up the next plugin, Bass Engine, and see what we got going on in there. Alright guys, what you guys are looking at now is Bass Engine. 3 decades of hip-hop bass, packed with tons and tons of patches, 300 to be exact, from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. Let's have a quick look at the user interface. There is a keyboard attached to this interface. You also have your volume knob. You can control your pan, your reverb, as well as your pitch. Over here to the far right is your ADSR, where you can control your attack, your decay, sustain, as well as your release. The interface is very, very sleek, clean looking. It's got the leather finish of a bass cabinet. Then right here in this window is where you'll find your bass patches. If you simply click on the window itself, it'll load up all the patches for you so you guys can navigate through them quickly. Then you can also navigate through them with the next and previous buttons to jump straight to the next patch. Now let me go ahead and load up the window here that displays all of the patches. As you can see, they are labeled from 1990s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. The 1990s bass patches are influenced by sampled bass patches, sampled from your vintage machines like your MPC or your SP1200s. The 2000 patches are influenced by like your ASR, your MPC 3000, and your Moog synths and stuff like that. The 2010 patches are more synth and 808 bass type patches. So a lot of variety in here. There are 100 patches in each category. So you're going to have 100 90s patches, 100 in the 2000s patches, and then 100 2010s patches. So a lot of stuff going on in here. If you go ahead and check out the names, they are easy to remember, very distinct. So if you're working with a patch, it's very memorable. You can keep these names in your head. So if you know you're working with the snapback patch, boom, you know you can go right back to that snapback patch. Now, just like Beat Machine, this is available in 32 and 64-bit as well as the Mac. They also threw in a folder of MIDI bassline patches or just MIDI basslines for you guys. And let me go ahead and pull that folder up for you. 50 MIDI bassline patches. They are all labeled with their proper key next to it. So if you load one of these MIDI basslines up, you'll know exactly what key you're working in. And there are 50 of those in a separate folder. Again, unfortunately, there are no WAV files in here, but there's a lot of patches that make up for that. All you need is this VST and you're good to go. So let me go ahead and demo some of these patches for you. We'll start off with the 1990s. So what you're going to hear in the 90s category is like some upright type basses, like I said, sample type bass patches, more of a jazzy type bass feel going on in here. Let's check out some of the 2000s ones. Now the patches found in the 2000s category, like I said, are influenced by the ASR or the MPC 3000, even like the Moog synth and things like that. That's what, you know, a lot of guys were using during that period of time. So you're gonna, you know, catch a more deeper, warmer bass in the 2000s category. Jump over here to the 2010s category. This is where you're gonna find your 808s, and you're gonna find some more synthy type basses. So overall, a very well-rounded plugin. You're getting, you know, not only vintage but modern bass sounds as well. 300 bass patches. I mean, that's pretty much all you really need. This is definitely one of those things to have in the arsenal. So what I did, I combined Beat Machine with Bass Engine. I loaded up a sample. I'm gonna go ahead and put something down together with these two plugins and see what we got going on. Alright, so I laid down a drum pattern and I chose to use the 6 Feet Under kit. I got a sample loaded up here. Let's go ahead and try to get something popping. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a bass line laid down. I'm going to use the 1990s Beat Fighter patch. Let's see what we can do here. That sounds dope. Just add a little vocal accent to it. So there you go, guys. Dope VST's Beat Machine and Bass Engine available now. Check out the link in the description if you guys are interested in picking this up. Don't forget to head over to MachineMasters.com. Check out some more of our written reviews. We got a lot of free tutorials going on there, as well as our sample packs on Saturdays. So till the next time, guys, this is Well Known Tone signing off.